Hello and welcome to episode 20 of The Gift of the Gap. This is 2 10s. Yes, that's
Two
what
tens?
that's what 20 equals. I feel like it's a special episode.
Oh,
It's
yay.
a spooky episode. If you can't see us guys, but Tia's got her scary face on right now for Halloween. Oh, it's just your normal face.
Haha, funny.
But actually, we were gonna start somewhere, but then I remembered it's Halloween, so do you wish happy Halloween? Is that a thing?
I've never wished someone happy Halloween. Like I've wished them happy Christmas.
I never got to celebrate Halloween.
Neither did I.
It was the devil's birthday in my house. According to,
I think
the parents.
I think I've only answered. Well, it wasn't even me. My mum's only answered the door for trick or treaters once in my life.
I think one time we bought sweets, but I've never been trick or treating.
Really? We've never bought sweets. Mum gave them a packet of crisps.
But I don't think my mum fully knew what it was. She just knew that sweets were on sale and people were knocking. This was like when we first came to the country.
Oh,
I think I remember like one of the early years where we bought sweets.
Yeah, we don't be doing this in Jamaica.
Yeah, I don't think this happens in Ghana either.
Yeah,
Nah.
I don't think so. I don't even know.
I think it's a Western holiday.
I think so. Yeah.
But they celebrate it well. They don't celebrate Halloween. In like Mexico, they have like Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. I learned that from. Where did I learn it from? Some Disney
Channel.
Yeah.
But yeah. So happy Halloween if you celebrate, guys.
So is today the Day of the Dead, or is that a different day?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But they be celebrating that day anyway.
They celebrate a day.
Yeah. And I haven't seen any person in actually any sort of Halloween costume today, even when we went shopping.
No, it's like a night thing.
Yeah, but even still, although it's a night thing, like last year on the way to work, I saw people like dressed up.
Really? Where?
I guess to their office. Like maybe it was like a dressed up thing.
No one's going to the office at the moment.
No one's going to the office, but I would expect at least one person to be dressed.
It just depends where you go.
Yeah, this is true. Maybe they're not all in Tesco and whatnot.
Yeah, well, happy Halloween.
Yeah, to those that celebrate.
Yeah.
On this spooky episode, are we going to make it scary?
Ha 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 ha.
Is that your evil laugh?
Yeah. But yeah.
What's been popping on the timeline?
Well, we had this whole debate on the Birkin bag.
You were involved. You were sending out the tweets.
Never.
Don't look down your nose at them.
I was so confused what was happening. I saw, what's her name? We had a whole debate about how to pronounce this girl's name, so I'm not going to say it. What's her name?
We didn't have a debate. We were just trying to find out. It's Saweetie. Yeah, Saweetie.
Sweetie. I'm gonna go with Sweetie. I hope I'm not butchering her name, but yeah. So they were all going on about it, and I think the whole debate started because Sweetie, on her live basically said, if your man can't afford to give you stuff like a Birkin bag, pay for your bills, then you should kick him to the curb. That was basically the premise of her argument. So what do you think about that?
What I learned about that was that this conversation is just way over my head. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I didn't know what Birkin was until this week.
You didn't?
I didn't. I'll be honest. I'll hold my hand up.
I guess so. Why would you need to know?
Why would I know? It's above my pay grade.
Yeah, Birkin bags are like really exclusive. Well, first of all, I knew about Birkin bags from Aaliyah J's vlog when Menelik, her boyfriend, got her Birkin bag, but it was second hand, and people were roasting him for it. So he had to like come back and say like Birkin bags are like exclusive. You can't just walk into a Birkin's, what is it, Hermes store, and buy it. You can't.
Yeah, I'm learning all these terms.
You have to be on a list. Like you could be Kylie Jenner. Well, probably it's a bit easier for her, but yeah, there's a list, and you can't buy like more than X amount in a year, and they have to they can tell you, oh, you're allowed to buy a bag now.
But from what I see, the limit is 2. I was watching The Breakfast Club, and DJ Envy is quite wealthy.
Yeah.
And I think he's bought his wife Birkin bags before, and even Charlamagne was talking about it that you either like I guess if you're not known, you have to be on like some sort of list. It's like a waiting list or something. But like, or you have to like know the people, but you're only still limited to a certain amount per
Yeah.
year.
Like you can't just walk into the store and just buy
Yeah,
one like you would
because
buy a Tic Tac.
it's an exclusive thing. So
Yeah.
if they let everyone have it, then it's not as
That's
rare.
that's how the price increases, because it's only a set amount of the bags.
Limited edition.
Yeah, it's limited.
Yeah.
And then you can limit how many you can buy.
But back to the Birkin. That's what I learned. It was like, oh, okay, these people are talking about kicking to the curb. Well, I've been on the curb for my whole life, apparently, because Birkin has not been in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously I'm a girl, and I just don't feel like anyone has to pay my way through life. Like, does that make sense? Like, why? Like, I can pay for my own stuff that I want. Like, I don't. I guess what I mean is, I don't want to ever have to rely on anyone, no one, to do nothing. Like, if I want to go and buy myself a bag, I can buy myself a bag. And if you want to buy me a bag, that's absolutely fine. But like, I don't want to have to ask you, can you buy me a bag? Because I can buy it myself. That's what. Do you know what I mean?
But these women that are saying kick him to the curb, they can buy a Birkin bag for themselves.
But
let's not get
they?
Saweetie and Cardi B. They got
Cardi
Birkin
B
money.
Wasn't saying that.
Oh, what was she saying?
No, she was saying that people are arguing that rappers such as herself depreciate the value of a Birkin bag. And she was arguing that that's not basically it's the opposite. Because even when she mentioned, I can't remember what she mentioned in Girl That Black Girl. What's that song?
I'm gonna let you have that attempt. I know what it is.
What's the song?
Bodak Yellow.
Yeah. Got completely wrong. She meant, what's that? Anyways, in one of her songs, she mentioned something, and
bloody
loads
shoes.
Of people started
Louboutins.
I don't know what she mentioned. She mentioned something.
On a side note, I got another confession. I think I've already told you, but the people don't know. I did to show how not into designer, like these new designer, or not even new, these popular designer things. I'm not in. I thought LV and Louboutins were the same thing. I only realized this year that they're different. I didn't know. I thought people were just saying it like like Louis Vuitton really fast, and they were like Louboutins. I didn't know like Louis Vuitton and Louboutins were two different companies.
I didn't know either. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, so you're with me too?
Why would I know? They sound the same to me.
I thought they were the same thing, and like the red bottoms, they could very well be the same thing.
Wait, so what is it? Louis
Vuitton, LV, and then there's Louboutins, which make the shoes with the red underneath that people
I'll be down. About. Why would I know that there's a difference?
I could be wrong. Maybe they're the same thing, but I think when I searched it, it wasn't the same.
Okay.
But I didn't bother to do any further investigating. I was just like, wow, looks like this is also above my pay grade.
Yeah.
So if I don't need to know, why am I gonna know? But back to Birkin, there were a lot of people on the timeline arguing Birkin this, Birkin that.
I mean, if you can't afford a Birkin by yourself, then you shouldn't want your man to buy the Birkin for you.
I personally didn't feel I personally don't feel particularly offended, even when they say it, because like that is not the sort of person I'm going after, and that is not like that's just not in my. I'm not part of this debate. This is a different.
That is just shallow-minded people. I feel.
Even if it is, it's just like it doesn't affect me. They won't be throwing me to the curb because I wouldn't be trying to get them.
I guess so.
So if you're in that wheelhouse and you can afford a Birkin bag, like you can afford a bag from TK Maxx or whatever, then that's for you. But I don't agree with the whole, if you can't buy me this, then throw him to the curb. But again, I'm not going after that type of person, so it is what it is.
Do you know Kayla Nicole?
No, I don't.
I feel like that's her name.
Okay.
She's a comedian kind of thing in America. She's young. I think she's only like 20 to 23 kind of age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she put out like a, not statement, like she basically, on her Instagram, she was saying like the last thing the world needs right now is like a bunch of rich people like shouting about how entitled they are, that they need like a Birkin bag, like basically shouting out like their rich people problems that like the whole world doesn't need to hear. Like there's so many other things that we could be focused on.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a number of things. So I think she's like right, like keep your rich people problems to yourself. Like I don't know. I just don't feel like that is realistic.
But maybe but her posting it on her social media, that's for the people that are following her to look at. Yeah. Like if I'm not following her, the only reason it's brought to my attention is because like it's made this big thing, but it wasn't personally affecting me. Like
I guess so.
Like if you're gonna look at her page and be upset that she's saying that, unfollow. It's as simple as that.
It is true, and I don't feel any type of offense at all. But I do want to ask you something. So, did you see the pictures and stuff from Kim Kardashian's birthday?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay, and that what you said just like reminded me of this because people were really offended.
I go ahead. I've got my take on it.
Yeah, so people were really offended by like her pictures and stuff, and she put out like a
set out the scene.
She put out a tweet. Basically, she said like after 2 weeks of multiple health scans and asking everyone to quarantine, I surprised my closest inner circle with a trip to a private island where we could pretend things were normal for a brief moment in time. We danced, just telling people what they did. And then she said, I realized that for most people, this is something that is so out of reach. So in moments like this, I am humbly reminded of how privileged my life is. #this is 40.
Oh, well.
So what do you think?
I saw that and I heard the chit chat on the street, but I didn't really see it. I just saw I guess posts from the birthday party, and I was like, oh man, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, there. If you have the money and the resources to be able to do that, more power to you.
And she did it responsibly. She followed the guidelines.
Yeah, she did it. If that's what she did, and she did it responsibly, I like it.
Yeah.
Send me an invite. I would have quarantined. I don't know anyone there, but I would have been up there.
Like I feel like because to me, what happened was she put out some pictures of her 40th birthday, and then like a few hours later, then she put out this tweet. So I think people started dragging her from before, especially in March and stuff. All of the Kardashians were continuously tweeting about keeping safe, staying at home, social distancing, masks and stuff like that. So I feel like before she put out this tweet or whatever it was, like people were dragging her because there was like loads of people there.
My only word is this: if you're a broke boy, don't be upset when rich people do rich things.
Yeah, but she did it respectfully. And then the amount of celebrities that I've seen that, like, from what it looks like, they haven't done that. Like T.I. and Tiny, they were.
Oh, you just gonna name everyone? You're going to Tekashi on us.
Name and shame. Like I've seen a number of celebrities like out at clubs and no mask, bunch of people together. Yeah. And so the fact that she did this, everyone was safe. Everyone quarantined beforehand. They got tested, and then they wasn't gonna infect anyone else because they were on their own island. Like I liked it, and honestly, if I had the money, I wouldn't have sat at home for my birthday.
Exactly, it's the 40th birthday. It's a big birthday, and if you can afford it and have the resources and are doing it safely, I see no problem with it. But it's just people online are gonna hate because they don't have what you have.
They were saying they were shoving this down normal people's faces.
You realize they're not normal people.
They're not.
They can social distance and do it on a private island. Sorry, you can social distance and do it in your house. And that's just act your wage.
Yep.
Act your wage. That's what she's doing. She's acting her wage.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
There's nothing wrong with what she did.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
It is, no.
But yeah, no, that was interesting. Oh, and another thing, I think yesterday she put out a video of a holographic of her dad.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see that?
I saw that.
What did you think?
I thought it was Kanye's gift to her,
Yeah.
like a birthday message on the private island,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is going so well until Kanye squeezed in a couple of lines from
about him.
He's, I'm glad you married the most genius man. And I was like, geez, he wrote the script, didn't he? Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't mad at that.
People were so mad about it.
I wasn't mad because it seemed like a joke. Like the Kanye part seemed like it just seemed like a joke. But I was like, oh, Kanye.
People were so mad about it, but and personally, I haven't suffered any bereavement. No one close to me, and like I'm just thinking, like, you know, outside of my box, and I was thinking, you know, like you see people who have like the teddy bears where they squeeze and then like it's their dad's voice saying I love you, or you know, like something sentimental like to them. So I feel like for loads of people, if they could do this, it would be a nice thing.
People are just mad that rich people can do things that they can't afford to do. Like, how are you going to be mad that someone else is celebrating the life of someone else in a way that you don't prefer? You can't afford the hologram, and sorry, you like, it's out of your wage. Just because she can do it and her family can do it, don't be mad. If Kim was offended and was like, yo, don't play with my dad, that is the one thing. But she wasn't. She was receptive of it, and I think she liked it.
Like they were all crying.
Exactly.
It wasn't even to like just for her. Like the whole family were crying.
And these people that are mad be the same ones that are there with their stuffed dog on the on their mantelpiece when that dog just wanted to die and be outside, but you're still keeping them alive. At least they did it in a tasteful way.
No, it's true.
Nah,
it is true. And I think, you know what, it is a reminder that no matter what you do, like someone's gonna hate it. Yeah,
and I've been coming more to your side the more I've been on Instagram.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, with the Kardashians, because there's these two instances where people have unfairly attacked her, and I understand that maybe in the past or even the present, I don't really be following them, that sometimes they can do some things that are a bit controversial.
Yeah,
but those two acts, I can't look at without. I'm not. When I look at it without bias, I'm not seeing anything that causes for anyone to raise pitchforks. But
and I think it would have been a totally different thing if like they weren't safe doing it, like the birthday party, you know, and like and people saying they're shoving it down their like rich poorer people's, the middle classes throat, but most people post their birthday online.
It's just don't look if you don't want to see.
No, but the thing is, most people, 99.9% of people on Instagram post their birthdays and stuff online, and there's always going to be someone who cannot afford that type of celebration.
Don't look if you don't want to see. There's going to be someone who can't afford a simple birthday party that will see your birthday party and feel sad about it. And if they don't want to see that, they can look away. And if you don't want to see your an extravagant birthday party because you just had a few family and friends round, that's on you. Don't look at it. Just be grateful for what you have. Stop complaining and looking for things to be upset about. People on the internet
just the Kardashians, you know.
Sometimes it is just.
And I feel like, sorry.
Oh yeah, sometimes it is just the Kardashians, but it's not only under their post that I've seen it. It's celebrities. Yeah. People just be mad that people can do things that they can't do.
Yeah, but you have to learn, like in life, that you are gonna be more fortunate than someone on this world, and unfortunately, you're gonna be. What was I saying? You're gonna be more fortunate than someone, but on the other hand, you're going to be less fortunate than someone else. Yeah. It works both ways. There's always someone who's, I don't want to say beneath you, but
there's always going to be someone higher above you and lower, doing less well than you.
Somewhere on this earth.
Yeah, and even speaking to what they were saying, like there was another comedian, I think her name's Takara Williams. Takara, let's just go with. And she's a comic out of New York, and she was speaking on what Cardi said about the Birkin bag and the whole situation. Because I think Cardi was saying that people are always attacking black women or like black rappers. And I think Ari was joining in the argument as well, saying that when the white people buy these Birkin bags, we don't say anything and stuff like that. But the people that are following you, aren't looking at what white people are doing on social media, or they're not under like Miley Cyrus's post and seeing what she's posting and stuff like that. And even some of them, Takara was saying like the white people that you're talking to aren't saying, well, I'm gonna kick him to the streets and do that, and so they're not like putting out controversial statements like that. And then that brought another back and forth, and it's just like, either way, like if you're gonna be putting out stuff and saying like, I'm doing well and this is what I want to do, you're entitled to do that. But you understand there's people that's gonna be upset with that.
Yeah.
And they're gonna respond. And what Cardi, I like Cardi, but what she needs to learn is like, she doesn't need to respond to everything.
Everything. Gosh.
Everything, she has to have a response.
Does her tongue not get tired?
Yeah. And it was similar to the leader of the US. He has to respond to things, but yeah. They just don't know when to stop.
Some celebrities, I really feel like they need to give their passwords to their manager and just not be on Instagram, or just have a normal account on Instagram where they just do lurking.
I feel if I committed 1 month to trying to get Cardi to respond to something, I could get her to respond to something.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't be able to access her that easily.
Oh, talking about Cardi, I didn't put it on the docket, but we have to talk about this. Offset getting arrested.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the video?
No, I didn't see.
So basically, what happens is
you told me, and I was.
It is kind of funny.
I'm in the Migos.
So he I don't know what happens before this point, but there's a whole bunch of people following his car, and they pull him over. The police pull him over, and then he's like, "Do you know who I am? I'm Offset from the Migos. I'm a celebrity. That's why the fans are following me." Da 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 da. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, that's not why we're pulling you over." So now they drag him out. No. They like put the phone down and turn off the car. Yeah. And he's like, no, because I think they said something that doesn't make sense. I think they said, keep your hands up but turn off the car, or something. And something he couldn't do both at the same time. So he was like, no, I'm not going to turn off the car, because they had the guns pointed at him. Yeah. So he didn't want it to be any misunderstanding that he was reaching for a gun or anything. Mm-hmm. So he said, no, I'm not turning off the car. Correct. Which was the smart thing to do. Exactly. He had his hands up on his phone. They ended up pulling him out of the car. Yeah, you're gonna have to come and drag me out like that. They dragged him out, and then here comes along Cardi. I can never say anyone's name right. Sorry. You in full black mum mode. Cardi B. She was like, "Oh, that's my husband." Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm glad it ended. They released him, right? Yeah. I'm glad it didn't escalate. I'm glad it didn't escalate or anything. I think Cardi B's. But I wonder why was arrested. He had a gun on him. No, but I wonder why they initially pulled him over. I don't know, but also they were nearby like a Trump rally as well. So I don't know. I don't know about that situation. I'm glad Cardi came to save the day. Cardi, yeah. I was shouting at them. I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, you better shout at me. I mean, at them for me. Right, you watch The Breakfast Club, right? Yes, occasionally. I have a question for you. Oh, hit me with it. So yes, I know what you're gonna ask. Go on then. You ask me. It's about reason, isn't it? But yes, it is about reason. Yeah. All right. Lead us into it. Shout out. It. Yeah. Okay. So I was just on Instagram yesterday and I was scrolling past and I come across this video, and Reason was on The Breakfast Club talking about how a woman should give men credit for not cheating, and I was like, what kind of... Absolutely. I'm joking. I have to include that I'm joking quick. I've already had the conversation in my head in the shower, because I heard it and I was like, oh, this guy got to start something. I didn't even need to go to Instagram or anything. Is your phone all right? Yeah. I didn't need to go to Instagram or anything to see it, but I was just like, this is going to be a big thing on Instagram. And it was, wasn't it? I'm not sure, because it was right before I was going to bed. Oh, okay. But I was just thinking, like, what kind of effery is that?
Do you know what I think it is? It's because men are seen as more, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually physically true, like to have like higher libido and higher sex drive, that it's seen as harder for a man to stay monogamous.
Well, he did say like a woman being faithful and a man being faithful is two different things.
But what I think he's failing to understand is that he's never lived in a woman's body.
Yeah.
To know that it's two different things. It might be just be the scenario that we just be men in general just are less able to overcome those urges. Mm-hmm. And if women have the same urges, that them as a gender as a whole are just better able to handle them.
Do you know what I think? I think especially in America and in Jamaica too, but in America, it's
say Jamaica with your chest. She said and Jamaica too. She tried to
it's normalized to cheat, which I think is so wrong.
Yeah,
like, it's normalized. Like even people like Khloe Kardashian, Cardi B, Beyonce, and a number of celebrities who have stuck by their men for whatever reason when they've cheated on them, or you have like some of them who have like had babies on them and cheated on their wives like so many times, like, and they know that they're being cheated on.
Yeah, that is
like, to me, I don't get it. And to each their own. You stay in a situation you want to stay in. I'm not gonna judge you on the outside for it, but in the inside I am.
So you are gonna judge.
I said on the outside. I'm not gonna judge them on the outside. Because I just don't get it. Like, how do you want credit for not cheating?
Like, I don't.
Then give me credit for brushing my teeth this morning.
Exactly.
Give me credit for getting up out of bed this morning.
Some people just want. I think the world is moving towards a place where people just want a medal for participation.
But do you know what it is? No, we've long passed that place, because that's what they do in schools now. Everyone gets an award.
No. If my imaginary children come home with a participation medal or 100%,
you lost.
Remember when I used to get 100% attendance in school? I even as a kid, I knew this was a bullish medal.
It's true.
I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to come in next term because I'm not wasting everyone's time, because they wouldn't tell us what award we're getting. We'll get
you were going to the big ceremony.
Yeah, we'll get there, and then they'll give us this sob story of how 100% attendance is good. It's like, no, it's not. Yeah. I just turned up every day. I did what I was supposed to do. I
never had that, because we used to go to the town hall and have this big ceremony like after school. It was like 2 hours long. And I would get 100% attendance certificate, but I would also be getting other things.
I only got other things on my final year level when I killed them GCSEs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When it took you the last year to get another award,
yeah,
all the way up, I was getting other awards. But anyways, let's
but yeah, it just seems that he, like, you've never been in a woman's body. You could be right of, maybe it is harder for a man to resist, but I don't think we deserve pat on the back.
It's more acceptable.
But it's just more acceptable. You're not in a woman's body to know that it's not hard for a woman to resist. We just know that on the outside, it looks like more women resist the temptation than men. And he views that as, okay, because so many men make that mistake. If I don't make that mistake, you should be happy. It's like being like, oh, you should be happy I don't beat you, because they used to do that back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just silly.
He even went on to saying, like, if you like give me credit for it, basically, then I'm less likely to cheat. Like, give me give me the participation badge.
Maybe it works for some people. And then I'm more likely to
participate next time. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
But
like, give me the participation badge for cooking for you then.
Maybe it works for some people, and maybe there will be a woman who's happy to give him that participation medal.
Sure,
but for me personally, that seems a bit patronizing for me. It'd be like, why are you patting me on the back for doing something I'm meant to do?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, so definitely, I don't agree with it, but to each their own. But,
especially when you didn't have to jump over the hoop to do anything, you didn't have to push out anything from your kuhu to do anything.
No, yeah. No, for sure.
It's different. Like, if the woman was giving birth and she was to get a push present or something like that. That's different, because she had to go extra mile.
Look at you trying to squeeze in your push present.
It's true though, don't you think?
I don't know.
Isn't there a difference though? Like she had to go 9 months of this pain, gain weight to push out the baby out of her.
Does she not want the baby? Why does she want an award for doing something that she wanted to do? It's not like she didn't want to have a baby.
Yeah, but I'm saying she had to jump over hoops to push it out.
If you as a woman decide to have a baby, you're deciding to have a baby.
Yeah, but together.
Together or not together.
Unless you're tricked into it.
Together or not together. It's a woman's choice whether she chooses to.
Yeah, but
I understand not every woman.
I'm saying there's a difference. Don't you think?
Of what?
Like, of being rewarded, thank you for not cheating on me, and then thank you for pushing out my child.
I'm not too sure. I'm not yet sold on the push gift. If I have to get one, it will be reluctantly. I won't lie. But it won't be. I don't think it will be, because it just seems like just another gift, just for gift's sake.
It's just a one-off gift.
It's not on the same. It's not on the same plane. I'll give you as reasons pat on the back, but it's on that inkling to me.
But it doesn't. A box of chocolates is sufficient.
So a box of chocolate is sufficient, but it could be sufficient for him too.
I'm not giving you any present for not cheating on me, because how many times do I give you that present then?
Whenever I come home and say, I survived another year. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
I guess I give you that present when it's our anniversary, so it's just all in one.
Maybe if I'm up for combining all presents into one day. All presents into one day. That way, there's just no days to remember. I just remember January 1st. That's everything day for everyone.
Christmas, birthday.
Combine it into January 1st.
Anniversary.
But January 1st.
Combining it all into one.
Yeah, all into one.
Okay. Well, that's fine for me, because it doesn't make much of a difference. Your birthday's in December.
It is.
Christmas is December.
Mm-hmm. People been stiffing me on the presents from early.
No,
I was speaking on the Breakfast Club. I was actually watching it, and they were talking about Jada and Willow on Red Table Talk.
Yeah.
And how Willow felt that Jada was harder on her than she was on Jaden, their son. And the example that she gave was like getting her out of bed, and her being like, the woman Jada is like to Willow, get out of bed, you need to get out, you need to do this. And then when she goes to Jaden's room, it's like, are you okay? Get out of bed when you think you can get out of bed, sort of thing. And it brought up a debate of, are black women harder on their daughters? And Jada's reasoning for it is because she felt the world is going to be tough for her personally. So she needs to instill her with like the determination to do things even when she doesn't need to do them.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean.
I think you're best qualified to tell us your opinion, because obviously you're a boy and you have a sister, whereas I just have sisters.
I think it's a different. I think it's paired up, and they even mentioned it on the Breakfast Club. I think mothers are harder on their daughters and dads are harder on their sons.
I don't think so.
Personally.
And obviously I'm not talking from personal experience, because I don't have any brothers, but when you watch it on TV,
I think when I was little, my mum was tougher on me than she was my sister. Like, I was getting in trouble left and right. I felt like my sister wasn't getting in the same amount of trouble.
I feel like boys are given a slide from their dad. Like, he's just a boy.
No,
like, yeah.
With certain things, I'll give you that. But I think with like when it comes to the manly tasks or whatever, like, it's you have to do this, or like this is your responsibility, or like even with crying, like a girl can cry and a boy son, it can't really show emotion. So not though I think there's a reason why a lot of women are more emotionally rounded than men.
See, I don't feel like, obviously I'm just speaking hypothetical, like I don't think that I would want like a cry baby, like as a son, but I don't feel like I would want a son as well who like doesn't show his emotions none at all, because I don't feel like that is good for anyone's mental health.
Probably not, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I think it works on both. That women see, they know the experience that they've been through, and they're like, I need to make sure that my daughter's prepared for that experience. And a man knows the experience that he's been through, and he's like, I need to prepare my son for that experience. They don't necessarily know the opposite existence, so they're a bit. I think the truth is, and I think on the Breakfast Club they were agreeing with that sentiment a bit more, that they were harder on their sons than they are on their daughters. And their mothers, they noticed, were harder on their daughters than they were on their sons.
So I have cousins.
And I think that's where the saying daddy's girl and mummy's boy comes from.
I guess so.
Because the opposite is less hard on the other.
Maybe. I have cousins in Jamaica, a boy and girl. And like, the dad is really soft on the girl. She's the only girl as well, and then she's got 2 older brothers. And
she's the youngest.
And she is the youngest.
Oh, yeah. She's a trifecta of favoritism.
The older one is like they do stuff, but for money. They get paid to do stuff. Like, because in Jamaica it's a bit different. So they get paid a little bit of money to do like harder work, not their chores, but harder work, like wash the grills and stuff outside. But the middle one, he is more like a cry baby. So they will just all tease him, all of them, the whole house. So
I was a crybaby. They used to tease me.
Is it?
Yeah, they used to tease me. It toughened me up.
Really? Maybe it'll toughen, because he's
ain't dropped a tear in years.
One. Really?
Yeah, well, you can attest to that.
I've never seen you cry, so you've never seen me cry either.
Huh?
But yeah, no, I can only apply my experience in being the oldest child. I feel like my mum was much tougher than me than my younger sister.
I although I was the youngest child, I think there were moments where I was like, I had the favor on my side because I was younger, and I was like mummy's boy. But there were also moments where my mum connected more with the daughter because she was a girl. Yeah. So I think it depends. It depends on what is born.
Yeah, but I'm saying because it's just 2 girls.
Oh yeah. Then you by default you're not going to be the favorite.
Yeah, I was just what?
It's true. The oldest is not going to be the favorite, especially if they're the same gender, unless there's something seriously wrong with the youngest one. It's really hard to not be the favorite as a younger child.
I guess no, but
if you're competing against the same gender sibling,
I had to be like the responsible one.
Yeah,
the one who did stuff.
And if the younger one is smarter, they see your mistakes and they one move ahead of you in chess.
This is true. I feel like
my mom thinks I'm a great son now. That's only because I had the mistakes of my sister to learn from.
I guess so.
Otherwise, I'd have been there making those same mistakes.
I guess so. But I'm like the oldest everything, like on my mom's side. And so I feel like I'm the test child.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like they did me wrong.
So when would you prefer to be born?
I don't even know, because I like it at the same time. Like, no one can tell me nothing, and really you're not compared to anyone, are you? Like, if you're the oldest everything, they can't say, well, this person got a car at this age, this person got a first class or whatever. Like, you're on your own league. You set the path.
I think you are being ridiculous. No, I'm joking.
But yeah. So I'm paving
what you're saying is true. What you're saying is true. You're applying common sense to the situation.
Yeah.
Unlike the 3 men from Essex.
Oh my god.
Who did not apply any or teenage boys, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
From Essex, who did not apply any common sense when they decided to crawl into an industrial tumble dryer.
I wanna know, like, I didn't hear in the article if they were drunk. Because if they were drunk, I'd give them some kind of,
I'm not gonna say they were, because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put full judgment towards them, because I've thought about going inside the washing machine as a kid.
Okay.
As a kid,
okay.
I've thought about getting inside the washing machine, but I didn't do it maybe I tried but couldn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of my attempt. They're in an industrial size one, and they're slightly older, so I'd expect them to know better. But just before my teens, I did get stuck in that sofa, and my sister was in her teens and got me stuck in that sofa. So sometimes,
the foldable sofa.
Sometimes children do silly things.
I guess, but why all three of them? Like, surely after the first two, you thought, there isn't that much space.
But they just wanted to see if they could all fit.
I just
you don't need to be drunk as a kid to be curious. Like, I was even watching ASAP Science, and it was like they were talking about hallucination and what happens. And I'm not gonna butcher it, but basically, the activity in a child's brain that causes curiosity was similar to what you when adults take hallucinogenics.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why kids are more curious to do things, and adults need like an actual intervention like drugs to feel that same level of ease to do those same things. But you know what
they say? Curiosity kills the cat.
But which cat did it kill?
And obviously it trapped them in.
And on a side note, where do these sayings come from?
I don't know.
Curiosity killed the cat.
I don't know. So basically, the cat went through the garden or something, got themselves into a sticky situation.
Two birds with one stone.
And ended its life.
I
don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, like in the article it says, and I think it happened yesterday. It happened on Friday night. And in the article it says like the first two were successful. They managed to fit in fine. But the third one got its ankle stuck in the door. Yeah. And then they had to call the fire brigade to come and get them out. Like, how embarrassing
that would be hilarious.
Soul would
Actually,
that be?
There was a woman who got stuck in a washing machine. And there's a video of it on YouTube. And I think, I'm not sure if they were drunk. She was grown. Yeah. And the fire rescue people had to come and take her out. That is embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. I even saw, a girl. She was in, a baby swing. Not the normal swing, the baby swing.
Oh, I've seen that.
And she was stuck and they had to, store her out of it.
Yeah, that's embarrassing as well.
That is embarrassing.
I think I would have tried to, break the swing and take that home. Rather than let them come find me.
They couldn't get her out.
Oh.
They could. I did see another one where they were trying for ages to get, I don't know, I think it was her finger. Yeah, it was, those tables that have, the patterns and it's got holes in it.
Yes.
Yeah. She stuck her finger into one of them. They couldn't get it out.
Like outdoor tables.
Yeah. They tried everything to get her finger out. So, cream, everything. Did to say, we have to call someone to get it out.
Well, sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, and you get a cool story to tell at the end of the day. Who amongst us can say they got stuck in the tumble dryer? Only those three.
I guess so. I do know one of the children I work with. He went missing. We found him stuck in the gate. His head stuck in the gate. I don't know. I don't know. I think he was trying to escape because he has escaped through a gate before.
No, well.
But yeah, that
was when his head was smaller.
Yeah. But yeah.
What we got?
Curiosity does kill the cat.
I was gonna ask you about what you would tell your past self about this year, but I think we already did that in an earlier episode.
What I would tell I don't know.
What you would tell yourself about 2020.
Oh yeah, we would.
We have done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
And Boris, UK Prime Minister, is set to announce maybe a national lockdown number 2 incoming. But you'll be probably still going to school.
Boris. I don't know how many times you can make yourself look like a dum-dum this year. And it's a good thing you don't have another election coming up, because I am positive that we would have voted your ass out.
Yeah, but right now they got an overwhelming majority.
Yeah, but do they still? If they was to put out a poll or whatever we do,
they're going up against a very weakened Labour Party.
Yeah, but I'm saying now.
I'm saying they're going up against a very weakened Labour Party.
I know, but do you think still now?
I think they would still win.
Maybe
it might not be as great a majority, but a Labour Party, what have they got to offer? Apart from we're not the Conservatives, that's not a good running point.
I guess so, but Like,
and they just got rid of
knew.
Jeremy Corbyn, which was getting them a lot of votes, so amongst younger people, and that now Labour Party wouldn't get those votes.
I guess so. I just think everywhere is a mess right now. Like, and he is a large part of why everywhere is a mess, because he said, like, we won't be going into another national lockdown. We'll do these little area ones. But now coronavirus has like overwhelmed the country, basically, where they might as well do a national lockdown. Not even
country, Europe.
Yeah, Europe. Because, they wanted everyone to eat out to help out. And everyone went out to help out.
I did appreciate the scheme.
No, it did.
I did appreciate the popcorn chicken I did devour.
It did.
All to myself. All 80.
But some will argue it was too fast, too soon.
It probably was. But it's a balancing act as well, because now some companies wouldn't have been able to survive without the scheme.
Yeah.
But then we don't know if COVID cases would have risen as high.
Could they have done other things,
Probably.
Yeah, and I think to help out.
I think it's also down, like, the government is to blame, but people, like, working British people are to blame, because if people actually followed the rules, there'll be less cases. But people don't know how to wear a mask, don't know how to social distance, don't know how to do things don't know how to cough without facing people.
They never knew.
And they still don't take it seriously. So there's only, like, the government is making mistakes, but we need to hold people's feet to the fire as well. Because you can do all the lockdowns and everything, but if people aren't listening, nothing's going to happen.
No, it's true. And so many people aren't. Like, even when you go to the shop, like, people are, like, coming up to you and you're like, you go away.
People are holding large parties and doing all of this, and you can have lockdowns and stuff, but it's not going to work if people don't work together.
But if you don't listen, you will fail.
So yeah, they.
So, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to not listen, so I fail. Like, when my mum used to say, listen or fail, but now I want to listen, because I certainly do not want to fail.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of the situation for me. But some people, like, view it as like, oh, I'll be fine, but will your mum be fine, or would the people around you be fine? And that's what you have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, that's the lockdown.
I agree. Shall I hit us with some? Do you want some dilemmas?
Yes. All
right. Let me see what I've got for you. So I'm living in a cold, unfinished basement. My boyfriend is living upstairs with his wife. He introduced me as a relative who needed help, but promised to tell her about us eventually. I'm pregnant, 2 months, and I don't want to have a basement baby. Help.
I'm living in a cold basement. My boyfriend is living upstairs with his with his wife.
She's the side. She's underground. She's living with the floor people.
Listen, I don't have any advice for you, because I feel like you should have thought about that before you stretch open.
Don't give basement babies the knock. Bane was born in the darkness, molded by it.
Who was?
By the time he saw the light, he was yet a man, nothing but a man grown.
Who?
I'm quoting Batman.
Oh, well.
But yeah, basement babies might not be that bad.
No.
He might have an affinity to see in the dark.
Let's discuss the first bit. First of all, I don't know how you're not scared to be living underneath the house where he lives with his wife. That's the real question. Like, how did you even end up in the basement in the first place?
Because it sounds like she's a broke boy. That's what it sounds like.
And then to get pregnant, you should have thought about this long before.
No.
Long before.
Well, if these people were doing thinking, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in. She's asking for help. What should she do?
I mean, you have 7 months to figure it out.
We're not here to figure out what was wrong with the mistakes they made. She's saying, look, this is what's happening to me now.
She has 7 months to get a job and try to find another place.
I think, have that basement baby. And then, she won't
be able to live there still with the baby. The baby will be crying. The
mom knows that she's there because they introduce her as the relative. That's why she's able to live down there. The wife knows she's there. Just continue to play the relative.
That's even worse.
Continue to play the relative.
Oh my,
Why
that's
not?
even worse. I didn't even realize that's even worse. What? How are you related to him? So when you guys are all like,
through soon to be marriage.
Like, no, well, okay, next.
Next one. But yeah, good luck with your basement, baby. I ain't got much help for you. I hated my baby mama, so I left after my son was born. I met a single mum with 2 kids and I raised them. My ex calls me a deadbeat on social media and keeps seeking the cash. How to make the court see that I clearly take care of my girlfriend's kids and shouldn't have to pay for my son. Right. Now look at the question he's asking. He's asking for advice on a specific thing. Not for judgment.
Okay, let me...
So how is he going to convince the courts? We know what he's doing is wrong, but how would he convince the courts? All right, you can just give your opinion.
He needs Jesus in his life, because the whole scenario doesn't even make sense.
But what if his son is evil?
The son, he doesn't know, because he left her after
what if the baby came out
and
looking evil?
Listen, Linda.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
You don't like the baby mama, that's fine. There are ways where you can limit your interactions with her but still spend time with your son. Like, there is no excuse. There's no excuse whatsoever to not be in your son's life. So that's what I have for that. And you chose, if you didn't have enough money, you chose to get a girlfriend. You knew she had 2 kids. So now you'll be providing for 3, or at least 2.5, because you'll be splitting it half ways with the baby mama.
Well, sir, I'm going to choose to answer your question because you asked the question. You said, how can you convince the courts that you're clearly taking care of these kids and not your son?
To that question.
And the answer to it is you can't. They're going to get you on child support, and it's a dunzo for you.
Whether you like it or not.
I mean, you should have stepped up and being the dad. You did the crime, so do the time.
Right, you should have covered it.
Exactly.
Put a lid on it next time.
Well,
that's how you do that.
Now you can't do that, and it is what it is. As I said, it is what it is. I really wonder what those guys were talking about when they were like, "It is what it is."
I don't know.
It is what it is. This time next week, the US will have a different president. Well, a different president will be chosen. I don't think they move in until January.
No, it's too long. I never realized it was such a long period of time.
When Trump loses, I'm speaking it into existence.
Jesus.
I'm a bit nervous of what he's going to be doing in these 2 months where he knows that his time is up.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's a dangerous period.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Let's touch wood. If he wins,
because he got his Supreme Court nomination. Now the Supreme Court is conservative 6-3 majority.
Yeah. It will just be a dangerous period no matter what. Whether he wins or loses, it will be a dangerous period.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to fold his arms and be like, I'm not leaving? Do you think he's going to be the first president where they have to come and drag him out?
I think he's going to make it extremely difficult, especially if on the election night it seems like he's winning, because where they've had to do mail-in ballots and
early voting.
Yeah, so it's gonna be harder to announce the winner on the election night. So it might be that he looks like he's winning.
Yeah.
On that day, and I think 2016 it wasn't announced on that day. It was announced the day after.
Possibly.
I think so, but don't quote me on that. So, I feel like if it isn't a landslide for Biden, Trump is going to make it.
So, what are your predictions come November 3rd?
I want.
Not what you want.
No, let me say what I want.
Okay.
First. I want Biden to win
handily.
Win
popular vote and electoral college.
Yeah, and and even better if he wins like states like Texas or Georgia,
Florida.
If like Texas mainly,
and Ohio.
If he wins those states,
Ohio.
like especially on election night, shut Trump up.
Yeah. No. Well, Trump will say it's something. It's a fraud. That's what he'll say.
No, but so if he wins, it's fair.
And if he loses, he's already planted the seed and told his conspiracy theorists that this is what it is, and they're too silly to see through that. But my predictions are basically the same as yours. But Donald Trump is pulling all the sleeves out of his
lying bag.
His small sleeves, to get some of these black celebrities to support him.
Oh, Little Wayne, Ice Cube.
At this point, I'm not surprised. But Ice Cube wasn't seen supporting him necessarily.
So basically. And he came and clarified, which I think he should have just stuck to his first statement because people were forgiving him. So
he made it worse?
I feel so. So
I didn't see that part.
He put out a tweet basically explaining that he reached out to both campaigns, and Biden's campaign basically said after election we'll start talking about it, whereas Trump's one said okay now we'll do it. So he went with that one, and he did an interview. He did an interview where he basically Kamala Harris, is that her name? Invited her and
Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
I think so. I'd be butchering her name too.
Yeah, Kamala Harris. Invited her to like a Zoom because obviously it's a pandemic out here.
Invited him to a Zoom.
A Zoom with like there was I don't know how many people, but there was other celebrities and stuff like that who wanted to talk about similar things.
Okay.
And he denied it. And then he denied that meeting basically, and then went for Trump.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, so I feel like that makes him sound worse than it did before because they gave you the opportunity, and then you basically said he said he didn't want to do it because he thinks that it would be productive. But how do you know it's unproductive if you didn't go?
I don't agree with the thing of it would be unproductive. I think listen to both of them if you're reaching out to both of them. I would have understood if he said I need to meet these people first because who's in power, I can't just refuse to ignore black people's problems and just be like, okay, for the next 4 years we just won't do anything to help black people in the country. But I think that the way what you just said that he did, that did make it sound a lot worse. And like, I think all these celebrities, Kanye included, and all the stuff and running, and it's just big distraction. It's just a big distraction to try and like either get people to vote for Kanye to take away votes from Biden, or to to take people off voting for Biden. And I don't know what the motive is. The motive. Their motive is behind endorsing Trump, other than he'll give them tax breaks and whatnot, and like the tax is more favorable because they make more than $400,000 a year. But you know, look, I'm grateful for this time because it's just showing you who's the snake amongst the weed. And
just because they're your skin folks doesn't mean
they're your kin folks.
Thank you, because I didn't know the rest.
But yeah, look, and they're all entitled to do what they want to do.
They are,
and we're entitled to look at it and be like, okay, now I see you for who you are.
And do you know what it is? It's like it's perfect timing as well. Like out of his 4 years that he had in office, why now kind of thing? Like why?
Definitely.
Why are you doing all of these platinum plans now? And even Lil Wayne, he went as far as to tweet it and take a picture with Trump's thumbs up.
He was looking like he was about to graduate out of Trump University. What's it called? But this is all,
and it's obvious. It's obvious what they do.
But race, it comes up every 4 years. Like it becomes the biggest topic, and because they know it's a polarizing topic, and that is what they can use to win votes. So they start to pander. Both sides do it, but they start to pander to, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, get in office, do that. And although I'm like, all right, you don't vote for Trump. You right now, people, if I'm not in your country, and obviously I can't govern your rules, but it looks like there's one less worse alternative, Biden, and he's got his flaws. Don't get me wrong, but when he gets in office, don't just now, okay, we were safe for the next 4 years. Hold his feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your the local elections, the state elections and stuff, and be campaigning and doing the same thing you're doing now, and don't just get lackadaisical after 4 years. We'll see what they do.
But it is interesting how many people are saying they're voting for the first time.
Yeah, like, it is. I'm glad they are.
Big celebrities and like even influencers are like, my first time voting. And
I think
like,
Snoop even said he was voting for the first time.
For the first time he went and voted. It's crazy. But I feel like in England, when your name is on the
voters register.
Yeah, it increases our credit. So does it? Yeah, did you know?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, it increases our credit, and so there is more of an incentive.
But they don't know if you vote though. You can have your name on there, but they won't know if you.
But if you're registered to vote, you're more likely to go and vote. Actually, they will know if you vote
because they cross you off. Yeah, they cross you off.
You're more likely to vote. I don't know if you actually have to vote for it to help with your credit.
But my mom always takes me to vote. That's how even when I like when I first got my first voting thing, my mom was like, grab your card, we're going to vote. It's your first time. Make sure you see what they're doing and let's go vote. Yeah, so that's my first experience with my mom.
And then again, it takes you like 10 seconds. Like,
it does.
The and most they're it does so is close. Getting there.
But it seems like in America, there's like, it doesn't always seem fair. And in areas, they purposefully do things to dissuade voters from staying, like long lines and taking away the portable toilets and stuff so that people can't stay in line and making sure they close, like, I don't know, but it just seems like it's
did you know I know
voter
this now
suppression.
I know this now because Diddy showed us on his Instagram or whatever snap yesterday of him voting for Joe Biden. Well, he said Kamala Harris. He's said he's voting and he ticked it, but it's more than one thing that you're voting for. It, like, for us, it's literally, it says we're just voting. Not always. For that. Is it?
Yeah, not always.
Really?
Not sometimes, like for Remain and stuff, it said one thing, but sometimes it says more than one thing on the thing.
I don't remember
because
that.
One time it came up and then there was like more than one. It was one, like the one that I would come for, and then there was like a second one that was happening on that thing.
Oh,
and
I don't.
And I was like, oh, what is this?
Maybe because I've voted every time except for one time where I couldn't vote because I was not in the right place.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that, but I don't remember where it was more than one thing. Maybe it was, and I just can't remember.
I can only remember it on one instance that I, off the top of my head.
But theirs is like a long paper back to front, and you're like, there's multiple things that you have to read and.
Well, prepare for it. If you can spend the time on Instagram and reading posts and stuff, you can read a voter's ballot. So there's no excuse for it. I don't care how long it is. It doesn't take that long to read, and you can educate yourself beforehand and come in knowing what you want to do.
Like I just hope that people go out, young people go out, old people go out, people who haven't voted go out. Because
the Trump people will be going out to his rally, so they'll be going to the state polling stations.
All of them be going out. They take their family members, all of them.
Yeah,
so that's what we need to be doing. And you have to remember that people fought for the right to be able to vote. And exactly. So you need to exercise it.
Exactly. Especially in this month. What month is this, Tia?
Black History Month.
So we got our final Black History Month highlight. And do you know who we're highlighting?
No, I don't.
I haven't told you. Henrietta Lacks. Do you know who she is?
I have heard her name.
Of course. So she's an African American woman. She was born in 1920. She loved to cook, especially spaghetti, and she loved to dance, often with one of her 5 children in her arms. She dressed stylishly and wore red nail polish. So sit in. I'm about to learn you on some of Henrietta Lacks and who she was. So she was the emotional and psychological center of her home, where her extended family gathered and where the door was always open to anyone in need. Unfortunately, in 1951, she died of cervical cancer at age 31. However, her memory lives on. Months earlier, doctors at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, had taken a sample of her cancerous cells while diagnosing and treating her cancer. At the time, John Hopkins Hospital was one of the few hospitals that would treat black people. They gave some of the tissue that they sampled from her cancer to a researcher without Henrietta Lack's consent or her knowledge. And in the laboratory that the cells were sent to, they were trying to reproduce cells for scientific research. But none of the cells were surviving under the conditions except Henrietta Lack's. Her cells turned out to have an extraordinary capacity to survive and reproduce. They were essentially immortal. The researcher shared them widely with other scientists, and they became the workhorse of biological research. They're called the HeLa cell line. You might have heard of them if you've done anything in science or like any scientific cell research or stuff. Like HeLa cell lines, like one of the fundamental cell lines in science.
Okay.
And it underpins much of modern medicine. They have been involved in discoveries in many fields, including cancer, immunology, infectious disease, and they even help to develop IVF. So help lots of families conceive children. One of their most recent applications has even been in the research for vaccines for COVID-19. Many companies that profited off her cell line didn't pass any money back to her family. And 100 years after she was born, so that's 2020, the Henrietta Lacks Foundation announced that a 6-figure gift from the Howard Hughes Medical Institute in Chevy Chase, Maryland, was given on the 29th of October 2020, which is only 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And this is after 100 years after she was born. So it's a small step in the correct direction to right the historical wrongs done to her and her family. Although anger has resulted from the nature under which her cells were obtained and used, now some of her family members, including her granddaughter Jerry Lacks Hawaii, call for people to celebrate Henrietta's life and legacy. We join her today in her aim to ensure scientists acknowledge that the HeLa cell lines came from an African-American woman who was flesh and blood, who had a family and a story long before her cell line. Her grandson, Alfred Lacks Carter, said the most important thing about the HeLa cells is how they have advanced cancer research, which is a fitting tribute given that Henrietta Lacks died of the disease. So join us today to say thank you for your past and present and future contributions to scientific research. Henrietta Lacks.
Yes.
And I think that is our Black History Month highlight. I thought I'd end it on that. I did a lot more research on this one because I knew of Henrietta Lacks and I was like, it popped up and I saw her name this week and I was like, oh, this is a perfect tribute.
I think that is a good one, and it just reminds you as well, like when people are saying like especially in America, like go back to your country, like you don't do anything for us, like look at this person and how much like basically her blood has helped everyone out.
Yeah, her cell line underpins a lot of discoveries in science today, whether for so many things.
Yeah.
And it's still currently being used today.
Yeah, and I bet you there are like Trump supporters who like have had IVF or something of the sort, who like don't even know the history of how it became.
Most likely everyone has benefited either themselves or through someone they know from the HeLa cell line.
Yeah. No, I think that was a good one to finish us off with.
Yeah. So thank you again for listening to this episode of The Gift of the Gab. If you've got actually any comments, I'd actually like to hear your comments on the Birkin bag. And can you afford a Birkin bag? I know the answer is no.
But there might be someone.
But tell us if you can and what you thought about what Saweetie said.
Yeah.
And
let us know if you thought Kim Kardashian was insensitive as well for her birthday.
And before November 3rd, give us, whether you're in the US or not, give us your predictions for the result of the election and where you'll be moving to if Trump wins. And thank you again for listening. Review, like, comment, do all of that stuff. Engage. It helps us produce more.
Tell a friend.
We're 20 weeks into this podcast. Give us a high five. And yeah, we'll continue to produce this as long as you continue to show us support. And maybe even if you don't, I'll just be talking to myself. We'll be talking to ourselves.
That's right. Well, I am Ben. Well, no, I'm not Ben.
Yeah, and I am Tia. And this has been the Halloween episode. Ciao.